Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shama Sundara Hare. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Gaurang Nitai, Gaurang Nitai, Gaurang Nitai. Jaya Gaurang Nitai, Gaurang Nitai. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Hare Bal, Hare Bal, Hare Bal, Gaur Hare Bal. Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur Hare Bal, Hare Bal, Hare Bal, Gaur Hare Bal. Nitai Gaur Hare Bal, Hare Bal, Hare Bal, Gaur Hare Bal. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahams Parivrajagacharya Stotra Sat Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON DVT Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahams Parivrajagacharya Stotra Sat Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। जमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। श्रीमती तुलसी देवी महारानी की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। बृहत् मृदंग की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Gaur Premanande Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Namaste Narasimhaya, Namaste Narasimhaya, Paladala Radaya. Hiranyakashipu Bhakshaha Shilaganga Nagalare Ito Nishingo Bharata Nishingo Yado yado yamito do nishingo Baya nishingo iraya nishingo Singamadim Sharanam Prabhade Tavakara Kamalavare Kamaduta Singam Paleta Hiranyakashipu Danabingam Geshavadita Narahari Rupa Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Nishingade Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Singha Bhagavan ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai.
Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. Could someone turn on the lights right there? Thank you. Anyone coming today for their first time? Yes? Oh, many people first time. Welcome. Where are you guys from? From Miami? Nice. Thank you for coming all this way. Hare Krishna. Where are you from? From England. You just come to visit us? Thank you so much. I know, I said hello to him too. Anybody else? First time? Oh, the ladies. Hare Krishna, welcome. Where are you from? You must go to a temple somewhere. You were dancing like you've done this before. Jacksonville. Oh, do you go to the program there? Do you go to the Bhakti Vriksha program in Jacksonville? No. The Saturday evening program? Okay, good. You have, thanks. If you're here for the first time, we're going to give you bookmarkers, and then you can take them around to the front of the temple, to the lobby, and they'll give you books to take home with you tonight. So just raise your hand if you're first time here. All right, so today the feast is not sponsored. Actually, there are many days left this year for you to sponsor the Sunday feast in honor of a loved one or an occasion. It is especially auspicious to distribute the Lord's prasad, and you can have that seva yourself. Just see me or Shakshi Gopal or call the temple office and we'll tell you how to sponsor a feast on Sunday. Tuesday, that's the day after tomorrow, is the most auspicious Nishringa Chaturdasi. Haribol. So we have an all-day festival at the temple. There'll be a class given in the morning by B.V. Madhavaswami, and that's followed by an abhishek of Lord Nrsingadev by the temple pujaris. The bhajans will go on in the temple room throughout the day. At 4:15, we can gather back at the temple for the arti. And that's followed at 5 p.m. by a special dance recital by the Bhakti Kalalayam Dance Academy. At 5:45, there's going to be a homa outside, a fire yajna. That's for the protection of the New Raman Reti community. And then while that's going on, there'll also be ongoing bhajans and readings going in the temple room. There's also going to be a special offering box set up for you to write down and offer your prayers to Lord Nrsingadev throughout the day and offer a light to him. At 6:30, there's a big Kirtan and an arti, and that's followed by a prasadam feast. And then at about 7:30, there'll be a showing of the Trip to Ahovalam video on the big screen here in the temple room. Also, the Radharani Club will set up starting at 4 o'clock, so we ask everybody to bake something wonderful and bring it for the ladies over there to sell. All the proceeds from the Radharani Club sales go for beautiful deity outfits. So we hope everyone can plan to take part in this day, either the morning, the evening, or both. We hope that you'll all consider making a contribution also for this festival and the prasadam, because we only have a couple of feast sponsors so far. Now, on Monday, that's tomorrow, in the morning, Nagaraj Prabhu is going to give a special class just focusing on Jayananda Prabhu. That is his appearance day tomorrow. He is one of Srila Prabhupada's first disciples, and he is renowned for organizing and making Rath Yatras possible all over the United States and then consequently all over the world. If you had any association with Jayananda Prabhu, come and take part. And Nagaraj is looking for people to add their association, their pastimes with him. And it's going to go on the internet. It'll be recorded also if you don't get to hear class in the morning. Monday evening, following the 6:30 Artik, B.V. Madhav Swami is going to give a special class, getting everyone in the mood of awe and reverence for Lord Nrsingadev. And this will also go over the internet, and it'll be recorded and go in our podcast. Later this week, Harisari Prabhu is going to be staying with us. He was an intimate disciple of Srila Prabhupada who scrupulously recorded their time together. He's going to give class this week on Thursday in the morning and this coming Sunday, a week from today, for the Sunday feast. And then he'll do an evening program on a week from Monday at 7 p.m. On Srila Prabhupada's pastimes. This coming Saturday, the 17th, there's a ladies' sangha at the Bhakti Bhavan, which begins at 9:30 in the morning, so all ladies are welcome and invited to attend. And then a week from this Saturday, that's the May 24th, it's Memorial Day weekend, we have our big Rath Yatra in Daytona Beach. There'll be many people there because it's a holiday weekend, so the beach is packed and there's lots of opportunities to introduce people to Krishna consciousness. All of the tents for that cultural program, for the prasadam distribution, the book distribution, face painting, they're all set up on the beach next to the pier. So it means lots of people visit our tents. Plus, it's Ekadasi Day, so that's an especially good day to engage in spreading Krishna consciousness. A lot of devotees from our temple are going to be out of the area that weekend because there's another festival going on in North Carolina. So if you are in town, we want you. Please take part in this nice event. There's a sheet at the back of the temple room. Simply, we ask you to sign up so we know if you're coming. It's just nice to know that we'll have a good showing of devotees there. There's also a sign-up sheet for the bus. That's on the bulletin board by the kitchen, and there is a lot of different services that are needed. I'll print that out and put it next to the sheet tomorrow. But if you do sign up to do some service, then your bus fare is waived, and you get a spot on the bus at no charge. Also, finally, I want to remind everyone about our latest legacy project, which is building a barn for milking cows, and something we haven't had here at this temple for many years. Now we have the staff to milk cows, and we have the opportunity to rescue milking cows from a commercial dairy. But we need a barn so that we can milk the cows and process the milk in a clean environment. And then we also want to use it as a teaching vehicle so that we can educate the public on the benefits and the importance of the cow. This is going to be revolutionary in our rural area here because many cows are raised in this area for production, but they're slaughtered as soon as they're no longer productive. It's a crime, really, of human society, and we want to get that word out. So in addition, we are going to have sustainable agricultural projects there. In fact, Saturday, June 7th, we'll put it in the newsletter, we're going to hold an open workshop here with one of the premier educators of permaculture, and it's this kind of a work-study opportunity. The result is going to be that we'll be planting our first section of a permaculture food forest on the land where the barn is going to be built. So you can learn more about that in our newsletter, and we think that there's a lot of people in our own community interested, but there'll be people coming from all over Florida to do this, and they're going to be doing devotional service and they won't even know it. So finally, so we're asking everyone to make a contribution to help build this barn. Everyone in this community should give something that, you become part of the ongoing legacy of New Raman Reti for many generations to come. It's $108 a square foot. You can build as many square feet as you want. We're about halfway there, so that's pretty encouraging for me that we're moving along. So we hope everyone, if you haven't already donated for this program, that you will plan to at some point. And then finally, I want to wish all of the ladies here a happy Mother's Day. Since whether you have your own children or not, you get to be a mother figure in someone's life. In fact, mothers are so revered in Vedic culture that there are 7 of them. The real mother, the wife of the spiritual master, the wife of a Brahmin, the wife of the king, the cow is a mother for us, the nurse, and the earth is a mother to us. So rather than making this day a hallmark moment, we can appreciate all of these different mothers and how they impact our lives. And on that note, Shesha Prabhu is giving the class today. Haribol.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tiravana Chari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tiravana Chari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Chiravana Chari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Radhadhari Jayam Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivajakacharya Ashtottara Satyashri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Parishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Vacharane Nirvishesh Sundivari Paschachadeskaya. Hare Krishna. So I'd also like to follow Mother Mukhya, wishing all the mothers, all ladies, a happy Mother's Day. Actually, we all have a very special connection with our mothers. We know from the science of the soul that the living entity that travels throughout these universes, he takes birth in a particular womb according to his particular circumstances, his particular inclinations, his past activities. So in a sense, our mother is the culmination of our entire journey in this material existence. We find ourselves in her womb, and from there we enter into this material world. So quite literally, where would we be without our mothers? And of course, many of the nurturing and nourishing qualities that we find, or that we come across in our lives, are also the influence of the mother. And so, not only we wish you happy Mother's Day, but also offer a sincere thanks for our situation. Particularly those of us who are here today in a temple of Krishna, worshiping Krishna, taking advantage of the fortunate opportunity to have taken birth and come in contact with Krishna consciousness. They say that there are two births. The first birth is from one's mother and father. The second birth is a different mother. What mother is there in the second birth? Who can say? Wife of the Guru. Okay, but something else looking for. The Vedas. Somebody said it. The Vedas. Knowledge. The second mother. So, thank you, Mataji. I just returned from a week I spent in Radhadesh, Belgium. We have a temple community there, like our ISKCON community, like our community here in Alachua, only smaller, much smaller. But they have a unique feature, that community, the Bhaktivedanta College, and I had the fortune to go there and teach every year. So I just came back on Saturday night. And while I was there, I was teaching a course in ethics. And that course actually has some lessons for us on this Mother's Day. And so what I'd like to do is go through one of the exercises we go through in that course that brings out this teaching point about motherhood. So I'm going to read a little scenario to you here, then I'm going to ask you all a question. And we're going to answer it in unison. Okay, you ready for this? Yes. Everyone's paying attention. You will be graded on this. That's what I tell my students there. Okay, you are standing outside of a burning building. The flames and the smoke are getting denser and denser, but there is still one way to enter the building. They're going to have to be quiet outside if they want to catch this. So there's still one way of entering the building. And trapped inside the building are three beings. Number one, your beloved mother. Number two, a Nobel Prize-winning scientist who is close to discovering a cure for cancer. Number three, a highly intelligent ape who might unlock the secret of the missing link. You have time to save only one being, and each is equally distant from where you are standing. Given that you could save any one of them, which one would you choose? And why, especially on a day like today? Who would you save? Mother. You're wrong. You don't save your mother. The science of ethics tells you that you have to be impartial in your choices. And even though your mother has needs, and you have a relationship with her, just because of that relationship, it doesn't mean you should save her. You should be impartial. So you're wrong if you said your mother. You don't save your mother. You save the scientist or you save the ape. Don't tell her that today. But this is what traditional ethics teaches us, that you have to be impartial, you have to perform duties that are formed by reason, and that should be the basis of your action, not partiality. So, the reason why I teach that course, and the reason why I use that example, is to show you how screwed up this world is when you just rely on reason and rules and regulations. That's not everything. You can't just depend upon that, otherwise you get these unnatural results. Does anybody disagree with me that it's unnatural not to save your mother on Mother's Day when you had that opportunity? Who wouldn't save their mother? But the science of logic and reason as applied to ethics gives these skewed results where you get unnatural kind of consequences. Therefore, it's time for a revolution. It's time for a revolution to throw off these old ways, these conditioned ways of thinking. You'd be surprised that to the extent that my students go to in that class to convince me that because the greatest number of people would be happy and satisfied and benefit, that saving the scientist is more important than saving their mother. Because that's how we're conditioned. We're conditioned by this world to think in these terms of reason, duty, logic. And look at the results in the world around us. A lot of good results, wouldn't you say? I mean, the worlds are at war on every continent, and all kinds of horrible things people are doing to each other. It comes from our material conditioning, and that material conditioning sometimes produces these kind of skewed results. Therefore, we want a revolution. And that revolution is the Hare Krishna revolution. Instead of giving prominence to these things like logic, duties, dharma, etc., we want to accept Krishna's arrangement. We want to accept Krishna's arrangement. And what is Krishna's arrangement? What is Krishna's arrangement? It is that, among many things, but given today is Mother's Day, Krishna's arrangement is that our mother is the first guru. Our mother is the first guru. Mothers don't speak in the language of rules and regulations, of dharma and adharma. Mothers speak in the language of unconditional love. We want to take advantage of that unconditional love, to understand that language. Because, after all, that language is the first language that we encounter upon taking birth. We encounter the language of unconditional love. I have 3 lessons for you that I want to present that are lessons we learn from the mother as the first guru. They're not rules and regulations. They're not dharma. They're not logic. They're not reason. They're in the language of unconditional love. Number 1. Srila Prabhupada gave the example of how you know your father. If you want to know your father, then you have to place your trust in your mother. You ask your mother, "Who is my father?" She can say, "This is your father." If you place your trust in your mother, then you can know your father. Let's take out the mother and father from this equation and understand it in a broader sense. If you trust, then you can know. All learning comes down to this. If you can trust, you can know. And it goes back to the mother as the first guru. She says, you question, "Who is my father?" She says, "This is your father." Because you trust her, you can know who is your father. Because you trust, you can know. This is the first lesson that we learn from the mother as our first guru. The second lesson is one of protection, shelter. This world, we know, is a very dangerous place. It's a place of disappointment. It's a temporary place, and we often find ourselves in need of some protection or shelter. What to speak of the baby when the baby comes out of the womb? The baby needs the shelter of the mother, even physically. You can't separate the newborn infant from the mother. She has to be in the arms and cuddled and held. Otherwise, there are all kinds of physiological and psychological conditions that develop. Because that protection has to be there. So protection or shelter is the lesson that we get from Mother as Guru. If we look at Srila Prabhupada's own life, in the Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, he tells some instances about how he sought the shelter of his mother. We all know and have no doubts about the exalted position of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, an intimate associate that was sent to this world by Krishna to deliver all of us. Yet he took shelter and protection of his mother. Just see the description that's in the Lilamrita. Abai observed his mother's simple and touching attempts to ensure by prayers, by vows, and even by rituals that he continued to live. Whenever he would go out even to play, his mother, after dressing him, would put a drop of saliva on her fingers and touch it to his forehead. Abaya never knew the significance of this act, but because she was his mother, he stood submissively, quote, like a dog with its master, while she did it. Like Gormohan, Rajani, it's his mother, treated Abaya as the pet child. But whereas her husband expressed his love through leniency and plans for his son's spiritual success, she expressed hers through attempts to safeguard Abaya from all danger, disease, and death. She once offered blood from her breast to one of the demigods with the supplication that Abaya would be protected on all sides from danger. At Abaya's birth, she had made a vow to eat with her left hand until the day that her son would notice and ask her why she was eating with the wrong hand. One day, when little Abaya actually asked, she immediately stopped. It had been just another prescription for his survival, for she thought by the strength of her vow he would continue to grow, at least until he asked her about the vow. The mother protects the child. And we can accept that and be happy. I remember one time when I was growing up, I had a paper route. And everything was fine. I used to get up early and go do the paper route. Everything was going really good. Until one day I came to a house and a dog came running out of there barking like a mad person and running after me. It was never the same on that paper route again. And what was happening was, there was like little dogs like that one. There were puppies, and that mother was protecting those puppies. That's why she came running at me, growling and snarling and teeth bared, scaring the heck out of me. So my life was never the same. Because she was protecting her children. That's what mothers do. That's what children need. That's the lesson of protection taught to us by Mother as the first guru. And the third lesson, self-sacrifice. All of you mothers know how much you've sacrificed. And all of us appreciate or should appreciate how much you've sacrificed for us. Selflessness. This is the essence of motherhood, selflessness. And Srila Prabhupada pointed out specifically the love of the mother as being without expectation of return. What a lesson that is to learn in life. If we can lead our lives in such a way that we interact with others, that we interact with nature, that we interact with God Himself with no expectation of return, with that kind of purity of motive. That motive is rarely seen. But where it is seen is in the love of the mother for her child. And as I'll mention later in the short presentation, Srila Prabhupada himself says that is the closest thing to the love of the spiritual world that you'll see here in this material world. The love of a mother, the unconditional love of a mother for their child. So these are valuable lessons, you see, because a mother does not speak in the language of rules and regulations, of dharma and adharma, of reason and logic, a mother speaks in a language of unconditional love. And that's something that can be understood even by the youngest child, the child fresh out of the womb. They can understand that language. And that's actually Krishna's arrangement. It's Krishna's arrangement. It's a wonderful arrangement. It doesn't just apply to human beings. As I gave the example of the dog. In every species you'll find that this tendency, this inclination to nurture and protect the children is found. I had this realization one time in a bank, of all places. I was in the bank, and as I was waiting in line, a mother with a very young child, must have been maybe a week or two old, came into the bank carrying the child, one of these contraptions that they wear to keep the child close. And just observing the interaction of that mother with her newborn, I got struck with the realization that actually this protective nature, which is motherhood, is found in every species of life. Every species of life is found. And that's Krishna's arrangement. Krishna has made this arrangement. We have to come to this world, which is a terrible place, full of all kinds of suffering and pain. But when we come, the first thing that happens to us, and I guess I should say, if we're fortunate, given that this is Kali Yuga, if we're fortunate, because in Kali Yuga all kinds of unmentionable things happen. You don't even get to see the light of the day. So many millions every year. But if we get out of the womb, the first thing that we experience is the love and shelter and protection of a mother in any species. That's Krishna's arrangement. We're coming to this terrible place, but the first thing we experience is something that's going to help us. Something that if we learn these lessons, these three that I pointed out, and they're innumerable, if we learn those lessons, and then those are things we can take throughout our life. I see Mother Nathika Chandrika here sitting in the back, and I did glance through my bookshelf when I was preparing this talk, and I did notice her book from the very beginning. She gives this talk about how from the very beginning the children should be trained in Krishna consciousness. Did you mean very beginning when they come out of the womb, or very beginning when they start Gurukula? Okay, there you go. Even before that, before you're put into the womb, preparation is made. That's motherhood. That is motherhood. That's our introduction to this world. And it's the first lesson, but it's also the most important lesson. Just like I was saying, trust. If you trust, you can know. That's something that will last throughout your whole life. This lesson that the mother gives unconditional love, and that is the closest thing to spiritual love, true spiritual love, that is the first lesson that we learn. It's the essential lesson of life. It's the most important lesson that we can learn. The very first one you get. The very first one you get, coming in contact with the unconditional love of a mother, how that is most similar to the eternal love for the Supreme Lord that will take you out of this world and not into another room again, is the first lesson that you learn when you come into the world, because it is the most important. So, I think these things are to be thought about and meditated upon. And there are three things that I would just ask you to do. First, let's go back to our little hypothetical we started to talk with about the burning building. Save your mother. Have no doubt about it. Save your mother. Even in the study of ethics now, they're throwing out this traditional view. And what's coming in is a feminine ethic that talks about the ethics of care and relationships, previously, if you were in a philosophy class studying ethics and you said your mother to that hypothetical, the professor would, beat you if he could. But now it's different. He would also have to say that according to feminine ethics, it's unethical, not just a choice, but it's unethical not to save your mother. It's unethical not to save your mother in those circumstances. And I think some of these reasons, particularly the spiritual reasons that we've gone over here today, are why. That we can say it's unethical. So save your mother, that's the first thing. 2, learn the lessons that we talked about here and save your human life. Save your human life. This human life is rarely attained. After thousands and millions of births, we finally get the opportunity. But it's very short. The opportunity is very short. Don't miss it. Save your human life. Start from the very beginning. Take advantage because it's easy to miss it. When I was a brahmachari, we were traveling and we came here to Gainesville. There's an old temple on Depot Avenue downtown there. And I was sitting in the class in the evening one day and, I think Satrup Maharaj was giving the talk. And I kind of nodded off, Sometimes we do in class, we just start going to sleep. The next thing I remember was he was saying, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, the class was ending. And I thought, I missed it. I missed it. We don't want to end our life like that. We don't want to end our life like that. I missed it. Oh, I had the opportunity, I missed it. Oh. So save your human life, that's number 2. And number 3, save the world. The world, at least the United States today, is celebrating Mother's Day. Do they really know, or will they really take advantage of what Mother's Day actually means in terms of what we presented here today? I would hope so. And it's our job to try to do that. That's how we save our human form of life. We try to save the world and give them some knowledge. First we have to have them trust us, because if you trust, you can know. If they trust us, then we can give them the wealth of knowledge, which is our second birth, the Vedas. And in that way, everything will be a success, and our mothers will probably be very pleased with us. So these are some thoughts on Mother's Day from a Krishna conscious perspective. Does anyone have any comments or questions that they'd like to put forward at this time? Are you raising your hand, Mother Mama? Oh, okay. Yes. When you come out.
Wonderful class.
Hare Krishna. So some years ago, Mother Natika was helping the teachers of Alachua about 10 years ago. And we were talking about how it's difficult to be a parent in this age. It's difficult to sacrifice to make the situation good enough to take proper care of our children. And we were mentioning Gurukula. How Srila Prabhupada wanted every one of our children to go to Gurukul if at all possible. And I said, well, many devotees are struggling. There's not much money. And she said 3 words: rice and beans. Rice and beans. She said, that's the kind of sacrifice you need to do. Rice and beans for months, rice and beans for years, in order to allow our children to go to our Krishna conscious schools. Never forget that.
Rice and beans. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Mother Natika Chandrika ki jai.
Right.
Bhaktivedanta Academy ki jai. Alachua Mothers ki jai.
Got somebody behind you there.
Yes, Prabhu. We're talking about mothers. Then we mentioned 8 mothers. But you know something? We chant a mantra every day, 16 words. 8 times in the mantra we say Hare. And 4 times reservoir of all pressure, Rama, refers to the mother also. And 4 times Krishna. How come everybody forget the real mother there? This is the mother that we're begging to get out of this planet. And not really to get out, to purify us, to worship the Supreme Lord with some purity. Even in the Vedas, they talk 8 mothers, the cow, wife of the Brahmana, wife of the Guru, all of this kind of thing, your real mother. But I think that is the real mother. Because when we say Hare, it refers to oh ma, like a baby crying. Please engage me in your devotional service. And it is mentioned 12 times in the 16 words. Hare 8 times, Rama 4 times, and Krishna 4 times. So the mother is mentioned, as far as I think, 12 times. But everybody forget the real mother. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
This is a question not related to this class, or a general question. Different religions preach different types of philosophies. And those religions also preach about liberation for their followers in their religion. My question is, when it comes to our Krishna consciousness moment, what is meant by liberation? Because there are bad people who get liberation in our scriptures. Can you please explain what is meant by liberation, and is anything beyond liberation for the devotees?
Liberation means complete freedom from any inhibition or obstacle to serving Krishna. That's what we mean by liberation. That liberation can be achieved right here and now. You don't have to go to the spiritual world for liberation. Our Shastras describe that if you are cent percent, it means 100% dedicated and dedicating everything you have and you are and that you be to the service of Krishna, you're liberated. The example is like a coconut. Sometimes the core of the coconut dries, and even before the coconut is split open, inside it becomes detached from the coconut. You can hear it rattling around loose in there. That is liberation. That's how we can be as souls, even in this body, completely liberated. So, but there is something beyond just being liberated within this body, liberated in service in the spiritual world. Because there, you are so uninterested in any selfish thing, like we're talking about the mother's love being as close to the spiritual love as possible. In the spiritual world, no one is self-interested. They don't understand what that means. Their only interest is Krishna. And so they are given facility, like Kalpavriksha trees, desire trees, where they can get anything they desire. You put a Kalpavriksha tree, in my front yard, you're going to see like a Ferrari and, all kinds of stuff there, But in the spiritual world, you're not going to see that. You're going to see what Krishna wants. So that's liberation. There are concepts of liberation that are impersonal, that simply say giving up all desire, giving up all personhood. any personality, any relationships, giving that all up, that's liberation. Because that liberation focuses on looking at the troubles that come from relationships and variety and things in this material world, how these things bind us in the material world. And so one thinks what liberation must be where those things don't exist, where they don't bind, where they don't inhibit. And so they think that. But no, there's a step beyond that. There's the freedom that comes with spiritual liberation and service to Krishna. And so that's what we want. That's the direction. That's where we're headed. We're not interested in just nirvishesh, emptiness, voidness. We want unlimited variety for the service of Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Sesha Prabhu, thank you very much for telling us on this auspicious day of Mother's Day how we, fundamental ABC of Vedic culture, Mother is the first Guru. However, I want to add to that by saying that we are sitting at a highest level of spiritual center. We are sitting in ISKCON center. Why I say it is the highest? I say it is highest because our mother gave me this body. Eternal Mother, Srimati Radharani, that Ajamil Prabhu is alluding to, she gives in charge of our spirit, soul. So at this day, we have to commit ourselves somehow in the spirit of Vrindavan, where everybody is greeted by Radhe Radhe or Jai Jai Radhe. At least we have come on the right foot by saying Hare Krishna to each other, which is very good. But let's one step further. Let's start saying Radhe Radhe, Jai Radhe. I just wanted to bring that. Thank you very much, Sesha Prabhu. Very nice talk.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else? Ladies? All right, we'll end there and take Prashadam. Hare Krishna. again should be this about, it should be